Good evening, Western Standard viewers, and welcome to Hannaford, a weekly politics show of the Western Standard. It is Thursday, January the 15th. It's a bit of a cliche, I know, but everybody has got their own story about their phone picking up the conversation and then getting unsolicited advertising. Somebody is listening. But that's really surface stuff these days. There's a whole issue now of artificial intelligence. And the 6G, never mind the 5G, the 6G surveillance state. There's Elon Musk's deepfake programs. The list goes on and on. And if you're the worrying kind, there's a lot on the internet to worry about. With me today is Tim Jordan, an internet security expert with Shield Networks, Inc. He will make you worry even more, but he may have some suggestions as to how you can diminish your risk. Tim, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, it's a great pleasure. Tim, let's just talk a bit about this, where we're at with all of this. Your business card says you're a cybersecurity apostle.
Yeah.
Now, you're obviously having a little bit of fun with us there, but apostles tend to be popularizers of something. What are you popularizing?
Yeah, well, I use that term because I feel sort of like I'm one sent forth, as the term apostle means, to keep people protected and business protected, and it feels like a divine mission, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, protected against what?
The bad guys, like they're constantly they're improving, and you just got to always be on the defense. Like
when we were talking earlier, you mentioned 6G. Now I'm not into this stuff the way you are. It's the first time I've heard 6G. What does it do that 5G is not going to do?
Yeah, so it's not just about like faster internet, and it's still maybe a few years away. Maybe about 5 years away from actually being a standard that's finalized, but different nations are jockeying for what it's going to be. But they're talking about it's more of a sensing network. It means the very fabric of the network is the computer, and that means AI will be the fabric. Like it'll be the radio waves coming through, being sensed.
Well, am I going to think it and it's going to go on the screen?
Yes.
Is that what this is?
That's what this is.
This could be socially disadvantageous to some people, I think.
Indeed.
All right. Does that, and it is tempting to be frivolous about this kind of thing, but the way you put it, you think it'll go on the screen. Does that mean your wife is going to know what you're thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I hope there's some safeguards there, like to be able to, stop this from being projected. I'm sure there will be. I mean, no one will want to use a system that is uncensored thought from your brain. That would be a disaster, honestly.
But okay, so to be totally serious now, this is something that's in the works. It's going to do things that we don't anticipate, and that if you speculate, you sound like either a genius before your time or a total crackpot. But
yeah,
in all seriousness, what does 6G mean from the angle of maintaining the security of your personal information?
Yeah, it's I guess that's a tough question.
And when is it coming in?
Yeah, the standards won't be finalized for a few years. And again, like I said, each nation is jockeying for, like they're doing this in their labs, and they're trying to figure out the extent of what it's going to be. Like it's a sensing network, so the photons and the radiation coming off the antennas will be inside your house, reading your movements and tracking. And so, yeah, from a personal, like we're going to probably need laws and regulations to really stop the overreach.
Okay, what could overreach? And I appreciate all you said, that the standards are still being set.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they upped the number from, it used to be 3 and then it was 4, it was now 5. Now they're talking about this quantum jump.
Yes.
6G. What kind of things could we run into on this? And I'm talking about from the point of preserving your personal information. We've already we're joking about the fact that the wretched phone listens to your conversations and then starts sending you ads. Well, all right. that's just picking up your voice. What's this going to do?
Yeah. Like you said, hard to speculate, and it can do a lot more than they would allow it to do. So they're going to be taming it down. Of course, they'll be using probably in environments to spy on people. Like, I just wonder about this Venezuela thing there and how they knew the environment before they went in, and they could have been using elements of 6G already for that operation.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, do you know that, or are you just thinking?
Speculating, but just kind of hearing the way they talk and what I've heard about how 6G is going, it's like very interesting.
Well, okay. So let's go a little further along this line. You have spoken about the phrase "the AI native" to describe the future of the internet. What does that mean?
So everything AI right now, we sort of use it like an app. You pull up your Grok or your ChatGPT app and you ask it questions. But in the future, very near future, it's not going to be an app anymore. It'll be more like the operating system or the very fabric of the network. The network will be the AI. So you won't necessarily you won't need an app to get this. The AI will be generating it, like procedurally generating it for you as you need it. That's where we're going.
Okay. Can you give me an example of what that would look like in what today would be a normal office transaction? You've got to read a memo. You have to make a phone call, talk about it, make a decision, hang up. Now, when it's AI native, what does that sort of transaction look like?
It could look a lot like it doing it for you before it knowing what you need to have done and it doing it for you. And just reporting on what it did later on the day for you.
So I called Premier Smith and told her that, and she said, "And there you go, you're fired." What's the?
Yeah, a lot of things that's coming now is like you could spawn an AI persona of yourself, knowing everything, and say the Premier also does that, and your AIs negotiate. Come up with a solution and inform you of it later. That this is already happening. Like certain governments are doing this.
Really?
Yeah, they're using a lot of AI to like I think it was the government, Sweden, the leader of Sweden was criticized for using ChatGPT to make some policy decisions. But I
mean, there's one thing to call up ChatGPT and say, give me a summary of all the such and such. And then use that as your basic research. I mean, I think a lot of people do that now.
Yeah.
What was the line she crossed?
Well, I don't think it was a line. They were just being criticized that you're just heavily using the AI too much for policy decisions. Like you said, it's not that. That's one thing. But yeah, spawning an AI persona of yourself that intimately knows who you are and acts as you, sending it out to negotiate for you. That's something that's real and coming.
Okay, well, just to kind of help the poor old listener wrap his head around this, we've already got, thanks to one of the AI programs where people have AI companions. This guy's got an always available girlfriend. She's completely fictitious, but she comes on. There's a picture of her on the screen. They talk, I guess, with the long language model. It probably isn't going to be too deep, but at any rate, there she is, and he takes some consolation from that, and presumably there are males for females. Now, that's not what you're talking about when you're talking about an AI persona, is it?
Not really, yeah.
How does the AI persona go beyond what we already know how to do?
Well, I guess it would be like really digging deep into you, digitally cloning you in a sense, saying what you would say and doing what you would do and deciding how you would decide.
So my AI persona thinks it's time that I talk to somebody else's AI persona, and somehow the two connect. Well, okay, I actually can picture that, but isn't there a problem with the whole idea of the AI language itself that is essentially, like, it doesn't think. Everybody thinks it thinks. What it does is, if the long language model, if I'm correctly informed, and you would know better than I if I am, but as I understand it, it has an enormous reservoir of knowledge, but it only knows what's in that reservoir. It's not actually going to be able to think and go outside of that gateway. So the idea that it would think, it's really time that Nigel had a talk with so-and-so about such and such a thing. It's not going to do that. It's only going to wait for me to say, I really should talk to so-and-so about such and such, and this is what I would want to get out of the conversation. Oh, all right. And then it goes off and it contacts the other persona. Are you suggesting this thing can really actually think and make forward-looking decisions?
Yeah, so what you're describing there is what all the AI companies are going after. They call it artificial superintelligence, or AGI, general intelligence.
Really?
And they're talking about exactly that, for an AI to be able to think outside of the information given it and create. And they're all racing towards it.
Are they close?
I would say so.
Really? So, all right, let's talk about Derek Fildebrand, who's the publisher of the Western Standard. He walks into his office one day. The computer on his desk just knows that he's coming in because it's been tracking his truck, and and it turns itself on and says, "Good morning, Derek. I had a little chat with so-and-so for you, and the stuff's on the way." What are you doing? I didn't order anything. Are we looking at those situations?
Absolutely. 100%.
Why would we do that?
I guess it just makes your life easier, less friction. It knows you're going to want that egg McMuffin this morning or something like that. Studying your patterns. And
so, a 50-pound bag of dog food arrives, but your dog died last night. I can see problems with this.
Indeed.
Let's get to the serious stuff here. There are two things I think that people are legitimately concerned about as artificial intelligence invades our lives. First, it is an invasion. We feel like we're losing control. But the most important thing is we feel that our personal information is at risk. So I would love you to tell us how it's at risk. I'm thinking particularly of banking information, but also all the information you would need to secure personal identity. Everything you need when you put in for a driver's license or anything else like that, or a credit card. What risks are we facing right now from artificial intelligence's ability to scam?
Yeah, I think the biggest threat is impersonation. People can act as you talk, as you synthesize your voice. Like we could overlay something over me right now and change me a different person, different voice, and I could be talking in real time, moving my hands. I could be acting as you, and I could talk to your wife or whoever and say, please wire me this information, or send this check or this information over here. And so that's the biggest, it's impersonation. And so that's what we really have to think about. That's going to be wrapping up a lot in the next year or two. And you'll be probably getting calls from people that you think but it's not them, or video calls. And to verify it, you think, oh, that's them. Well, no, it probably isn't. And they're going to be studying your movements. They'll know that you might rub your eye a lot or whatever you do. So impersonation. And
now, okay, we already have, I believe, the ability for somebody to fake a voice and claim to, I'm your grandson and I'm in prison in Venezuela, whatever.
Yeah.
Send money immediately for legal fees. They can do that.
Yeah.
And people do fall for it. In what way is this going to take it a step further and make you more vulnerable?
Just a lot harder to decipher if that's like a fake thing, like trying to get you to, that since there's, people have fallen for it. It's kind of getting public. Those attacks might not be, they're easier to protect against, but now you're going to be falling for, how do you know if someone's real, if someone's not? And
well, I mean, how do you know? Do you have any tips?
I do. For example, I had a client that called me from Banff. He said, "Oh, forgot the password," and I just called him back. Said, "All right." And I happen to know this person from young. I said, "So just to verify, where did you live when you were young?" And then he verified some other things that we did when we were young. So something an AI wouldn't know if it's not on the internet. So this
didn't know then, but I bet it's listening and it knows next time.
It knows next time. So yes, exactly. You got to always change the key. Yeah. Wow. And a lot of times they talk about a safe word where you come up with it before, but then you always have to change the key, right? And also another thing, if you do get a call, you just end the call. If they're asking you to do something, you end it and call them back through a different channel. It's rare that the AI or the attackers will be attacking you on multiple fronts. Now it can happen, but that's one of the good golden rules is if you call me asking me to do something, okay, I'll call you back. Yeah. And make sure that it's you, and then do your other things. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess, all right, fair enough. That's one thing.
Yeah.
There's, what danger is there that sophisticated scammers could get hold of your bank information simply by looking for it? I mean, one of the things we've found here at the Western Standard is that you can ask one of the Chat GPT or Grok or something like that and review all the Hansard for the last 5 years, looking for references to this particular pipelines or something like that. It chunters away for a couple of minutes, comes back with it, and there's all the information. You still got to check it, but at least you've saved yourself that step of searching for it. Now, let's not think about Hansard. Let's think about your banking information or my banking information. Can they get past with AI? Can they get past the basic bank security and look at your information?
Yeah. So the AIs now can act as like a user on a computer, moving the mouse cursor around, clicking on the things. So if it has access to, say, you store your banking information in a notepad on your phone or on your computer, could potentially go in and read that, plug the information to the site, e-transfer to contacts that you didn't want to. So absolutely, yep, could act as a human.
Again, how do you protect yourself as best you can?
Yeah, with banking, and that terms would be, make sure you keep, if at all possible, don't keep the keys to your account written down, so to speak, in the digital realm for an AI to watch or to find. If you can keep it in your head somehow, or create a series of keys on notes that you can, if you do forget it, you can piece it together like manually in an analog world. It's going to just take a lot more thinking and a lot more.
Well, it obviously must be possible to protect yourself somewhat, because I haven't read any stories about people losing their Bitcoin fortune because somebody worked out their password. I've heard of people losing their password, forgetting it, and being unable to access their Bitcoin account. But I haven't heard of anybody actually saying what had just happened here.
Like deciphering it? I mean, it would happen that they could steal it if they had it written down, right? But if they don't have it written down digitally, then it would be tough. But not impossible, I suppose.
Well, I mean, again, if they're watching, once you've done one transaction, now they know the keystrokes.
Yep. Yeah, and all the data is being collected, and it's never being forgotten.
So you keep changing your passwords.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether I like the world we're going into very much at all, Tim. This is brutal stuff. And if we're talking about things that we don't like, talk to us about the deep fake technology that's out there now. It's extremely sophisticated. Mr. Musk has been making the headlines with Grok recently. Apparently, there's some software there that allows you to play around with images.
Yeah.
We live in a society that's highly image driven. We don't use words anymore. Well, we do, but what I'm saying, Facebook, for example, various other social media, there are pictures of people, and once you have one picture, you can start to manipulate it.
Yeah.
Do you think we should stop putting our pictures on Facebook?
I kind of do. I don't think it'll be
Okay,
natural.
let's say that again loudly. Do you think it's time to stop putting pictures on Facebook?
I would say so. Yeah.
Because these programs, this AI, can probably be sent to look for pictures of individual people, and you retrieve the image and you manipulate the image.
Yeah, and in a way, there's no real hiding from it either, because like you go out in public, your picture is being taken by all the surveillance cameras all around. But yeah, I think a lot of people are going to start pulling back when they start to see the pictures of themselves in various scenarios. And the bad guys are doing this. There's no guardrails. The bigger companies started with the censorship and guardrails, but those wheels are quickly falling off as the private AI guys build their super clusters at home with no guardrails, putting out whatever they want.
Okay, and this is why you were here. You were here to straighten me out on things. I got the impression that when you use AI for whatever purpose, you're dealing with a massive computer set up somewhere else. Like your little desktop computer is not going to do what you want it to do. You are instructing a computer somewhere else. Now, it seems like you're saying that there are some people who have invested and been able to afford to invest in computers that'll do all kinds of dreadful things.
Yeah, the power.
Is this common?
It's just emerging. The power that you can buy now, you can get a supercluster of Apple Mac Studio computers, 4 of them, and you can put them all together, and you can churn out AI answers and AI processing almost as fast as the big guys now. This is just going to get so you have that in your house doing your bidding, and you can connect to the internet. You can make it go out and attack certain sites or go after certain people. But on the bright side too, like the good guys can use this too. Like you need to be able to, less censorship is generally a good thing. So while it's dangerous, obviously, but the good people can also use the same tools to protect. So,
well, all right, we're good people. We want to protect. Do we have to go out and buy a supercluster to do it?
Yeah. I'm not saying you and I have to do that. Like right now, to get something like that would be about $70,000.
Yeah,
which is not out of reach for some people, especially if you're going to be making money with it. So, yeah, I wouldn't say everyone needs to do this, but definitely the good guys need to keep thinking, keep maybe stay up at night a little bit later, get up a little bit earlier, and
do what?
I guess strategize. Like it's always been that way, honestly, in IT and cybersecurity. It's always been a defensive posture. You're reading what's out there, and then you're going, oh boy, how do we protect? So, and then you come up with plans and you build your defense.
Well, you're frightening me. I think the question is, if the government can't stop these robocallers and AI scammers, what can regular people actually do?
Yeah.
And this was what would you if they came to your Shield Networks is the name of your company.
Yeah.
So if somebody came and said, I saw your interview with Hannaford, you got me really rattled. I want you to help me. What could you do for them?
Yeah. So a company, say a business, would hire our company to really take a look at their IT infrastructure, kind of inherit it and manage it and shore it up with defenses that we have learned,
Mm-hmm.
and that we're continually learning every day. Like it's nonstop. It's getting faster and faster. So yeah, it would be, people hire us and trust us to keep their systems out of the hands of the bad guys.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, that's your free ad, but I wish you well with that, Tim.
Yeah.
You know, have you ever heard of flash paper?
Flash paper.
Yes. It's a mafia thing. It's paper that's been soaked in a highly inflammable chemical compound. So the second that the police burst through the door, hit it with your cigarette, and it's gone.
Oh,
There's no evidence. I think that that's the future of communications.
interesting.
Yes. Send it over in an envelope, and the second you don't need it anymore, it's gone. Tim, this has been great. Thank you very much for coming on in. It's it's a new world with different challenges. I'm sure we will negotiate them in the end. If people can think of a way to do it, they can probably think of a way to undo it.
Indeed.
That is got to be our hope.
100%. Yeah.
As we say goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in. For the Western Standard, I'm Nigel Hannaford.